A suburban train glided toward Berlin on an ordinary morning in 2016 when a 37-year-old passenger collapsed and died of heart failure. His passing, though natural, would unlock a mystery that had tormented the German town of Bad Belzig for 23 years. Bad Belzig, then simply Belzig, sits 70 kilometers southwest of Berlin. Its medieval Eisenhardt castle and thermal baths drawing quiet weekend crowds. In 1993, the Logen family had settled on the town's edge. 16-year-old Andrea Logen was bright, responsible, and on the evening of the 7th of October, thrilled with a new pair of platform shoes and Levi's jeans her parents had just bought her. She left at 8 to meet friends at the teen hangout Pogo, promising to be home by 10. She never returned. Her parents searched the dark streets. Police delayed action, certain she would reappear. A week later, helicopters and dog teams finally combed the lover's path up. Narrow shortcut teens used, but found nothing. Posters, television appeals, and a 10,000 mark reward produced more than 250 reported sightings across Europe. None credible. 7 years on, a dog dragged a human skull from scrubland less than 100 meters behind Pogo, exactly where Andrea's mother had begged detectives to look. The rest of Andrea's skeleton lay propped in an abandoned hut. Her clothes and jewelry were gone. With no soft tissue, only a blow to the skull could be noted. The case languished until the man who died on that Berlin-bound train, David, one of 2 boys last seen speaking with Andrea, was identified. After his funeral, a friend told police David had confessed years earlier. He and 13-year-old Robin meant only to rob Andrea, but panicked and killed her. David was beyond justice. Robin, questioned as a witness because he had been under the age of criminal responsibility, slipped away and hurled himself from an Austrian mountaintop. Andrea's parents are certain someone older helped the boys. Yet the truth died with Robin, leaving only unanswered questions and a family's quiet grief. Joey Comanali, 26 and full of easy charm, left a Manhattan nightclub at 3 a.m. on the 13th of November 2016 with 2 wealthy acquaintances, Lawrence DeLeon and James Jimmy Rackoverand. 3 women. The party moved to Jimmy's Sutton Place apartment. By dawn, the women had gone, and Joey was never seen alive again. 2 days later, security footage, a bloody trash bag, and a father's instinct steered detectives to Rackover's building. They learned Joey had been beaten, stabbed 15 times, wrapped in a blanket, thrown from a 4th-floor window, stuffed into a suitcase, and buried beside a New Jersey florist shop before being set ablaze. DeLeon claimed he struck the first blows after Joey mocked him. Rockover, he said, insisted on finishing the job. Rockover countered that DeLeon killed Joey while he briefly stepped out. Max Gemma, asleep on the sofa, denied all knowledge. At trial, prosecutors leaned on a friend's testimony that Rockover had boasted of slashing Joey's throat. An anatomical impossibility, yet persuasive. Rockover was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 28 years to life. DeLeon later pleaded guilty to manslaughter for 23 years. Gemma served 4 months for hindering prosecution. Rockover-born Jimmy Bowden, a Florida ex-felon adopted into New York high society, maintains his appeal from prison while Joey's father tends his son's grave each dawn. 18-year-old Heidi Allen opened the D&W convenience store in New Haven, New York, before sunrise on Easter Sunday, 1994. By 8 a.m., deputies found the register untouched, her keys and purse inside, her car outside, and Heidi gone. Within weeks, brothers Richard and Gary Thibodeau, who drove a white van vaguely matching a witness memory, were charged with kidnapping. Physical evidence was non-existent. Jailhouse informants, nevertheless, claimed Gary had boasted Heidi would never be found. Tried separately, Richard was acquitted, Gary convicted, and sentenced to life. 2 decades later, a torrent of new leads erupted. A woman reported that back in 2006, James Stain had bragged he and 2 friends abducted Heidi because she was a police informant. Tape-recorded call, contradictory van descriptions, and proof Heidi's confidential informant card had indeed fallen into public view. Cast doubt on the original case. Search dogs alerted to cabins linked to Stain's circle. Witnesses recalled the men laughing about the girl. At courts, denied Gary a new trial, and he died in prison in 2018, still proclaiming innocence. Heidi's fate remains entwined with small-town secrets. Her bracelet mailed anonymously to a cousin. Her last footsteps still untraced. Sydney model dancer Ravel Bauman was days from a 4th tour of Japan when she took one final job for a Kingsford escort agency on the 5th of November, 1994. She arrived at client Gavin Seymour's house at 3:50 p.m., checked in with the agency, and phoned again at 5:50, saying she was leaving. She never reached her 10 p.m. booking or her mother's Sunday train rendezvous in Newcastle. Over the next week, her keys, diary, makeup, and single cork-wedged shoe surfaced across Kingsford's streets. Police moved slowly, and crucial witnesses scattered. Seymour, sporting scratches, said he'd simply dropped Ravel at the local pub. No patron remembered her. Escort driver Zoran Stanovic offered shifting alibis. The Serbian friends Ravel was due to meet fled the country. A coroner in 1999 declared Ravel had been murdered by person or persons unknown, and lambasted the initial investigation. Only in 2021 did police announce new evidence, raid Stanovich's property, and name him a person of interest, reigniting hope that 3 decades on, Ravel's family may yet hear how and why she vanished between a client's front door and the dark Sydney streets. Koh Tao, Thailand, markets itself as Turtle Island, paradise for divers. At dawn on the 15th of September 2014, paradise fractured. The semi-nude body of British tourist Hannah Withridge lay bludgeoned on Surrey Beach. Nearby, engineering graduate David Miller floated face down in the surf. Early police bungles, sealed crime scene, lost CCTV, hurried DNA tests met fierce pressure to shield tourism. Within 2 weeks, officers arrested 2 Burmese migrant workers, Zav, Lin, and Y File, announcing DNA matches and extracting videotaped confessions. Both men promptly recanted, detailing beatings and threats. Independent experts condemned the forensic work. Sample logs were incomplete, key swabs destroyed, and alternative profiles ignored. Yet, in 2015, a Thai court convicted the pair and sentenced them to death, a penalty later commuted to life imprisonment. International observers, Hannah's own sister among them, still doubt the verdict, pointing instead to influential island families long rumored to rule Koh Tao's darker trades. Meanwhile, the roll call of unexplained tourist deaths on the island continues to grow. Each case hastily filed under misadventure. Across continents and decades, these stories share a cruel symmetry. Bright young lives ended or erased. Investigations marred by haste. Fear or corruption, and families left to knit meaning from silence. Trains halt, fathers sift garbage, mothers pace platforms. And justice, whether buried in an Austrian valley, a Sydney backstreet, or Thai courtroom files, remains elusive, beckoning the listener to ask what truths still lie undiscovered beyond the last reported sighting. The final dropped call, the quiet sweep of a midnight tide.